You missed a couple early, looked kind of frustrated. You slammed the ball down a little bit, it looked like. And then what were you telling yourself from there? And then how'd you feel about the way you played the rest of the game?
I don't know if we could say what he was saying to himself out loud.
Yeah, I was just, those first three, they felt good. I was kind of frustrated with it because obviously, I've been putting in the reps with Kajo and, Peter Patton. And, I was frustrated at first. I'm just like, bro, it's not translating right now. And then I know how to just keep shooting. And, if I did that, I'll be good.
Josh, Mike just finished talking about how you reminded him a bit of Iggy from his time with the Warriors, and that you're both players that he needs to ignore analytics and numbers with and just let you guys go compete. How does that make you feel? Do you feel like you're like an anti-math kind of player? Does that resonate with you?
Iggy was first off was a hell of a player. I don't know if I'm at that level, but I just try to go out there and just play my game. I'm never a huge analytics guy. At a certain point, they're a lamppost to a drunk person. You can lean on them, but it won't get you home. So at a certain point, you got to have a good feel for the game.
Oh my God, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, that was Gerald Wright, his quote, man. So shout out Jay Wright.
Wait, hold up. No, we're not moving on from that.
That's a great quote.
Oh my God.
Analytics drunk, lamppost to a drunk person. It ain't gonna get you home.
I was
You can
with,
lean on it though.
I was with Cal, so I didn't hear that.
You ain't even go to college.
Defensively, was that like your mindset coming in? Like, I want to really cover my offense?
Just seeing where the game goes. Last game, I felt was a game for us to kind of download a lot of information. And today, I just wanted to be aggressive, like I always say in playmaking. Had some looks at the basket, wanted to be aggressive. Wasn't even about scoring. It was just about, putting pressure on the defense, and just found myself in good positions. Shout out to my teammates and Josh especially.
Josh, Jalen had a playoff career high 14 assists, quite a few of them set up for three-pointers. Just what were you seeing about the adjustments they made up defensively, and what did it do for him with their offense?
Yeah, obviously had a huge offensive game, last game, so we knew they were going to come in with a different game plan. But I just think it shows, one, the confidence that he has, in us, and the depth of a team that we have where I don't even know how many points he scored, but we can win a game with him having 10, 11, 12 points, but, having 14 assists, getting guys involved. So I just think it shows the character of the team, character of him, and, I keep saying my fault. But it shows we can win games in different ways.
Do you think the amount of assists he threw you today shows that he actually likes you as a person?
Nah,
Okay.
because he missed me a couple times.
Selfish, bro.
Yeah.
I got one for Cat, one for Josh. Cat, Josh obviously is a guy who plays the game so hard, tends to get frustrated with himself, it seems like. What's it like as a teammate, just trying to know what he brings to the table and not letting him beat himself up too much about whatever may be happening?
I mean, he just impacts the game. He impacts winning. You've heard me say that a bunch of times coming into the press conferences after the game and stuff like that. He's the perfect example for any basketball player who wants to learn how to truly impact the winning of a team, and he does that at the highest level. And what he does, not only talent-wise, but mentally for our team, when he goes out there, he's hustling, he's playing that hard, you feel like you got to match his intensity. And because of him, when he goes out there and shows that kind of energy, it brings our whole group up, and it makes us have to feel like we got to meet him where he's at on the court.
Josh, do you feel like you've stayed, improved and just staying confident, not letting things linger, as you've gotten older?
Yeah. It's one of those things. One of those things I try to play with more joy, but more grace. I don't really celebrate, when I score or make a good pass and stuff like that, and I kick myself probably a little bit too much when I miss shots or make turnovers, those kind of things. So I think I started to learn to play the game and give myself more grace and not to try to be perfect. And I'm happy with that.
Josh, when you're preparing for a game like this, you said it yesterday, you know they're going to leave you open. I mean, what's that look like for you? You said you got extra shots with Peter and Kajot. I mean, is that come with being in practice and just taking more shots? Or you get into the gym early? What's that look like for you?
Yeah. I don't get to the gym too early. I got kids, you know what I mean? So I get try to drop them off at school, get some treatment before I get on the court. But it's just improving, reps and the consistency of those reps. I think for me, it's not like I got to go out there and make 500 threes. Because if I go out and focus on making 500 threes, sometimes the mechanics slip just trying to make shots. So we're doing more so smaller sample sizes of precise details and focusing on the fundamentals of my shot and perfecting that. And I think if I do that, I'll be in a good position. And I think that's mostly what it is. It's just continuing to do that. We had a walkthrough today. I got in early, got shots with him. So it's just the consistency and the reps for me.
Here, I wanted to ask you, I know you guys are locked in, but how close from the NBA Finals do you feel right now?
I mean, we don't feel any closer than we did last game or any game. It's back to, in our minds, it's 0-0. We got to win the next game. It's the most important game of the year. And that's how we treat it. We're hungry for the opportunity to go out there and play basketball at the highest level. But we also understand that, you can never be satisfied in these positions in the playoffs. So the mindset's going to continue to be 0-0 every single time we step on that court.
Josh, we've seen different players from that guard group opposite Jalen step up from game to game, series to series. In your opinion, how's that group kept its effect on this playoffs consistent when it's different guys having to recall different nights, being able to contribute to different levels?
I think I said it before, but the character of those guys, character of the guys in the locker room, we don't really care who gets the shine, the shots, the minutes, those kind of things. We're focused on winning. And I think everyone is willing to sacrifice their own personal agendas of performance for the betterment of the team. And when you have a group of guys that do that, sky's the limit. And I think sometimes it's human nature to think about your own individual performances. And I think if we do that at all, we have enough camaraderie to hold each other accountable. So I think that's the biggest thing with us is we're willing to sacrifice and we're able to hold each other accountable.
Jalen, tonight for you, a lot of it was about the passing. When do you know what you have to do in the situation for this team to win? You had 14 assists, a career playoff high.
They were presenting two to the ball, and I was able to find my teammates, and they were knocking shots down. Just trying to create an advantage by putting two on ball and trusting them and having them make the play.
Kind of following up on that, you guys have played with Cat as the primary facilitator. We've played as you as the primary facilitator. I mean, how comfortable are you guys at playing with different offensive styles, and just how much of an advantage is that for you guys to be able to, I guess, be a different team on any different night?
I think it's an advantage for us, learning how to play differently. There are going to be times where one game plan is going to be different than the next, and so being able to adjust and learn on the fly and adjust on the fly it's something that we need to continue to get better at. But I think we've been doing a great job of it. We just got to continue to be open to figure out how we can win the next game.
I guess just for either one of you, Josh, after you talked about a little bit 0 for 3 in the first quarter from 3 and a little frustrated with himself, and just kind of what you see in him that he keeps going and confidence to keep taking the shots and deliver like he did today.
Yeah, just staying mentally tough, that's the biggest thing, and just keep trusting his game, trusting his work, and we super confident in him, and we're gonna keep finding him, and we know he's gonna make some shots, but just for him personally, just mentally tough, staying with it, and, you know, he kept making shots towards the end and, you know, got to where he got to.
Jalen, sort of following up on that, it did seem like you were particularly trying to look for Josh, even in that, you know, the front court, you get there, you sort of shovel the pass to him for the dunk. Do you feel like it's, in that he's going through it, he's dealing with that cross match, like it's on you to kind of keep feeding that confidence into him?
Yeah. I mean, I'm really not trying to look for him. He just happens to be open. So I give him the ball. But I got the utmost confidence in him watching the things he does after practice and with his routine and everything. He works hard. I know we joke around a lot, but that's about his practice habits, but he does work hard.
Jalen, what was the key to the 18-0 run early in the second half? What sparked it and kept it going?
Our defense. I think we were able to get stops and run and get easy baskets. So our offense is definitely the way we were able to play in transition was a credit to our defense.
So 9 straight wins for you guys in the postseason so far. 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. Take us through some of the differences this year's team has versus last year's team.
A little bit more experience, and I think the most important thing is that we're growing and learning together. And no matter what the situation is, whatever the series is or whatever, we're open to learning, we're open to getting better, we're open to figuring out how to win games, trusting each other. So it's a lot of different things. But I think the most important thing, no matter what, is that we're sticking together.
Mikal, when your team captain and one of the best scorers in the league follows up a 38-point night with a 14-assist night, what kind of message do you think that sends to the rest of the team?
Yeah, great message. But it just shows that he just plays the right way. You know, if you're not going to send a double team, you know, I think it's an advantage for him. And then if you send, you know, a double team, he's going to read and react and find an open guy and play the right way. Ever since I've known him, he played the right way. So it's just kudos to him and how he works and his understanding of the game. But yeah, if you're going to keep helping off, he's going to, you know, make you pay, and you know that's what makes him great.
Jalen, you guys are playing great team basketball right now on a 9-game win streak, but I am a little bit curious. You are a bit of a wrestling fan. There is someone else that's kind of trying to take some credit for this at the moment. I am curious about your thoughts about like this entire Danhausen situation.
Honestly, I don't know too much about it. I've been off of social media, so I'll leave it at that.
Mikal, it seems like you've been really aggressive going to the rim recently. I think today was just 1-3. I mean, is that something that's been like intentional? Is it how they're playing you? You know, what's behind that?
Just doing what the defense gives me. You know, just being aggressive, open shoot. If not, drive. I think it's just that simple.
Mikal, Jalen just said one of the keys he feels like this season is your ability, or is your time growing together and the experience playing together. It seems like it's harder now to kind of microwave great teams together over one off season. Did last year and you guys playing together and now having a second season together, does that matter, or did it improve you guys this year and just being able to have that continuity and knowing each other for another season?
Yeah, for sure. Having another year together, you know, builds chemistry. You know, builds just every day learning how to play off each other. Yeah, that means a lot. It's big time for us. But yeah, just going through experience through last year. You know, we played a lot of games, 82 plus. You know, losing in East Conference Final last year, just learning a lot of things about each other, and it definitely helps.